Hi everyone. Here on I will be taking step-by-step tutorials on AutoCAD. So now let us see a brief introduction on AutoCAD. So CAD stands for Computer Aided Drafting and Design. This software was developed by Autodesk and it was first released in December 1982. Now as we all know that previously engineers and draftsmen used to provide drawings manually. So this used to consume a lot of time, and also when there were some revisions required, it was very difficult to do it on paper. So in such cases, they used to redraw the entire drawing. So in order to avoid all such complications and difficulties, this software AutoCAD was developed. Now after this software was developed, it made the engineers' work much more easier. Now, we all know that drawing is the language of engineers, so this software plays a very vital role in the field of engineering. Now, this software is not only used by civil engineers, but it is also used by architects, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and aeronautical engineers, etc. So, in AutoCAD, every drawing is being identified by the XYZ coordinate system. So before entering into the software, let us briefly see what is coordinate system. So coordinate system is a system which uses one or more real numbers to indicate the position of an object. These real numbers are called as coordinates. Now we have three types of coordinate system. First is the absolute coordinate system, then the relative rectangular coordinate system, and the relative polar coordinate system. So let us see one by one. Now in absolute coordinate system, all the points are measured from the origin. Okay, that is any point's distance will be taken with respect to the origin. Now let me show it with an example. Let us consider this as x and y axis and let this point be the origin. Now I want a point at a distance of 2 units horizontally and 2 units vertically. So in that case, if I give the coordinate system as 2, 2, then I will be getting a point somewhere here. Okay. So I'll be getting a point somewhere here. So now I can draw it like this. Let this be like 2, 2. So you can see that here the distance of this point was measured with respect to the origin. Similarly, now I want an other point here whose distance from the origin point is 3 units vertical and 2 units horizontal. So in that case, when I enter 2, 3, I will be getting a point somewhere here. So this I can enter it as 2, 3. Okay. So this is the absolute coordinate system. Now here we can see that both the points coordinates were measured from the origin. So the format to enter absolute coordinate system is x, y. So this is absolute coordinate system. Next let us see relative rectangular coordinate system. Now similarly in relative rectangular coordinate system, here the coordinate of a point will be measured with respect to the coordinate of the previous point. That is, now let me consider this as my first point. Now the next point I want it with 2 units horizontally and 2 units vertically. So in that case, I'll be giving it as, so the format to enter relative rectangular coordinate system is at, then we have the x coordinate, then I have the y coordinate. So this is the format for relative rectangular coordinate system. Now let us see. I want the next point with 2 units horizontal and 2 units vertical. So I'll get the point somewhere here. Okay. So in that case, I'll be drawing a line like this. So this is nothing but at the rate of 2 comma 2. So now have measured this point with respect to the previous point, that is nothing but the origin. Now I want another point whose distance is somewhere here, whose distance is 1 unit vertical from the previous point. So in that case, so my line be like this. So as I mentioned, in relative rectangular coordinate system, the coordinate system is measured with respect to the previous point. So here it will be nothing but at the rate of 0, 1. So it can be seen that the point's distance from this point is 0 distance horizontally and 1 unit distance vertical. So this is the relative rectangular coordinate system. The next coordinate system is relative polar coordinate system. Here the format is at the rate of, we have the distance, then this symbol with angle. So these are the different types of polar coordinate system. You will understand this better in the in future. So now let us get into the software. Now this is how the software AutoCAD looks like. Here what we have is the application menu, and this is the quick access bar where you have the shortcut for all the application menu tools, and this is the drawing title bar. So this will indicate the name of the drawing, and here you can see the information center, and this is nothing but the in canvas viewport control where you can change the views, and the cursor that you can see on the AutoCAD screen is called the crosshair, and this will indicate the UCS icon, that is nothing but the coordinate system. Then we have the screen which appears here is the drawing canvas, and this is the command line, and this is the status bar. So let us see what is the file management in AutoCAD. Firstly, how to create a new drawing. So to create a new drawing, you either go into the application menu or new, or you can find the icon in quick access toolbar, or the shortcut for new is Control N. So now in new we have two methods to create a drawing. First is from scratch. The second is with template. Now template is nothing but using the settings which was predefined. So we will be saving a template by creating some predefined settings, and this can be used for the projects which will require the similar kind of settings. So here we can find the templates, we can browse it and choose the template we require. Generally templates are saved in the DWT format, and here we can have the preview of the template. The other one is Start by scratch. Start by scratch is nothing but as soon as you open the software, the screen which appears, that is the drawing one file that appears to draw, is called the start from scratch. Here we need to set up the required settings. Next is opening a drawing. So here we can be opening the previously saved drawings. For that, go to the application menu, open, and you can browse the drawings which you require. The shortcut for open is Ctrl O. Next is saving a drawing. So once a drawing is done, this can be saved by going to the application menu and save, or simply Ctrl S. So here the AutoCAD is generally saved in DWG format, and we can also see that we have various options in saving. We generally prefer to save the files in lower version so that the AutoCAD file can be opened in any version. Then we can also save the template in DWT format and also the DXF format. This is about saving. So next, before starting a drawing, we need to set up the units. So for that, go to the application menu, drawing utilities, and we have unit, or simply the shortcut is UN, enter. So now the units dialog box will open up. Here, the first one is under length. We can choose what type of length unit you require. So let me take up decimals, and this will show you in what format you can enter the units, and also you can choose the precision, that is after the decimal point how many numbers you require. And then we have the angle. This is also similarly, choose the type in which you want to enter the angle and give the precision. And here in AutoCAD by default, the anti-clockwise direction is measured with positive angle and the clockwise direction is measured with the negative angles. So if you want to change the clockwise direction to positive angle, just check on this box. Now under insertion scale, you can choose the units you require. Let me take up meters. And this sample output will show you how you will be giving your units. Then go to direction. Here in AutoCAD by default, the base angle is set to east. That is, the 0 degree of the angle will be set to east and all the angles will be measured from this base angle. We can also set it as per our requirement, that is whether it is north, west or south, and we can also measure which angle you require. I'll take it up as east itself. Okay. So this is all about units. Next we have limits. In certain cases, if we want to set up a boundary for our drawing, then the command limits will be used. So here the shortcut is just type limits, enter. Now here you can see that in the command line it is asking us for the lower left corner. So I'll take up my origin as the lower left corner. Then it is asking for the upper right corner. I want a boundary of 30 meter. So my lower right left corner was 0, 0, that is the origin. Now I'll give 30, 30. So the boundary of my drawing will be 30 meter. I can also, now in case I don't want this limits which I had set up, then I can just simply off it. So this is limits. Now let us see some drawing commands. Firstly, line. So here you can choose line or simply L, enter. So you can see it is asking us to specify a first point and then just draw. This is line. Okay. Now in the beginning of the class I had told you about some coordinate systems. So I'll show you how to use these coordinate systems using line. So just now first let us see absolute coordinate system. So as I told you, the format to enter absolute coordinates are x, y. So using absolute coordinate system, let me create a object. So just L, enter. I'll give my first point as 20, 20. Then my next point will be 60, 20. 60, 20. Then I have 60, 60. Again 20, 60. And I want to close this figure, so I'll just give C, enter. So this is the object that I've created. So this is how you will be using absolute coordinate system. Now next let us see how to use relative rectangular coordinate system. So the format for this system is at the rate of x distance comma y distance. So let me take L, enter. I'll give my first point as 20, 0. Then I want 5, 20. Then I want 10, minus 40. I want 10, 40. Again I will give 10, minus 40. Then 5, 20. 20, 0. So you can see that I've created this figure using the relative rectangular coordinate system. Now next let us see relative polar coordinate system. So the format for this is at the rate of distance lesser than angle. So I'll take up L, enter. I'll just specify a point and I'll give it as at the rate of 20 less than 0. Again at the rate of 20 less than 216. At the rate of 20 less than 72. At the rate of 288. You can see that I've created this figure using relative polar coordinate system. So this is all about lines. Next let us see circle. So in circle we can either choose the circle here or simply see enter. Now there are different types of circle that can be drawn. First is the center radius. Here I'll be choosing the center of the circle first and then enter the radius. So this will create a circle. The next one is center diameter. Just choose the center and then give the diameter. Next we have the 2 point. Now to draw a 2 point, let me take, I have two lines. I have two lines like this. And I don't know the distance between these two lines, but I want a circle here. So in that case, I can take 2 points. I'll just take this as my first point and this as my second point and create a circle. Similarly, 3 point. So for this, let me take, I have a triangle like this. So I want to draw a circle inside this triangle. So in that case, this will be my first point, second point, and third. Then the next what we have is tangent radius. So here we'll be specifying two tangent and then give the radius of the circle. So here too, let me take, I have triangle like this and choose tan radius. Let this be my first tangent and let this be my second tangent, and I'll give a radius of 50. So you can see that these two lines are taken as the tangents and the radius of the circle is 50. Next is tan. That is, here we'll be specifying three tangents for the circle. So let this be my first tangent, second tangent and third tangent. So using this option we can be drawing the circles. So this is all about circles. The next drawing tool we are going to look into is arc. So the short you can find the arc here, or the shortcut for arc is A enter. So in arc we have different types. The first one is 3 point. So just specify the first point, second point and third point. Then we have the start, center, end. That is, first specify the start, then give the center, and then give the end. Then we have the start, center, angle. So start, center, and let me give an angle of say 180 degree. This will give an arc. Then we have start, center, length, start, center, and give an length of 65. Then we have start end angle. So I know the start point, I know the end point, and I want an angle of say 150. Then I have start end direction. So I know the start point, I know the end point, and here I can choose in which direction I want the arc. So let me take this direction. Then we have start end radius. So I know the start point, I know the end point, I want a radius of say 25. Then we have center, start, end. So choose the center point, go to the start point, and then we have the end point. Then I want center, start, angle. So I know the center point, I know the start point, and I want an angle of say 150 degree. Then center, start, length. So I know the center point, I know the start point. Then I want a length of about say 75 meters. Finally, the continue. So in this, I can be starting another arc immediately after the creation of one arc. So this was the last arc that I had created. So I can, by using continue option, I can create an arc like this. Okay. So this is continuous. Also, while drawing an arc, okay, by clicking on control, we can change the direction in which I want to give the arc. So this is all about arc. Next, let us see ellipse. So ellipse is nothing but E enter. So E L enter. So here I can just specify the axis and the end point, and by giving the length I can draw the ellipse as required. This is about ellipse. So now we saw some drawing tools. Now next let us see some modified tools. First is erase. Now let me I have drawn an object like this. We draw some objects. Okay. Now I want to erase. So you can see, you can use this icon for erase or simply E enter and select the object. Again give enter. This will delete the object. By using the oops command, the last erased object can be restored. Now let this be my another object that I am deleting. So if I just enter oops, so this was the last object that I had erased, and by using oops command this object was redone. Next is undo. So this is nothing but you enter or control Z. Next we have the move tool. So you can see the icon for move tool here, or simply M enter. Select the object and by enter, by choosing the base point, I can move the object to any distance I want. Or You can even mention the displacement. So just after selecting the object give D enter, and by entering the displacement the object will be moved. Next is copy. So you can see the icon here, or CO enter. So for this select the object, enter to the base point and copy wherever required. This can also be copied in array. For that nothing but CO enter, select the object, and here choose the base point and give a array, A enter. Give the number of arrays you want. I want 3 number of arrays. So you can see that this can be given like this in the form of array. Next we have is rotate. Now for this you can either see the icon here or simply RO enter. Select the object, choose this base point, and here I can rotate it as required, or I can even rotate this and leave a copy of the source object. For that nothing but rotate. After selecting the object and choosing the base point, give C enter. And so you can see that the source object is also retained, and this will be the copy of that object. Next is mirror. Now here you can see the icon for mirror, or simply MI enter. I want to mirror this object. I'll select it, enter. Let me choose this as my base point, and I want to mirror it like this. Now here you can see an option, erase source object. So if I click on S, the source object will be deleted. If I click on no, the source object will retain. So let me take S. You can see that the source object has been deleted. Or I'll again mirror this object, and I'll give no. You can see that the source object is retained. So that's all for today. See you all in the next class.